What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Snowpiercer Season 2 Episode 4 recap, breakdown, and ending explained. Sadly, this episode was mainly filler this week, which was a shame after last week's quite enjoyable episode. I would have expected more from the first contact from Melanie, but it really was just a bit of a wet fart of an ending there. Now, opening the episode, it felt very weak, as really the trades happen and Audrey discusses the night car as Leighton gets a special message, which later turns out is simply an invitation to help fix up the people who had frostbite due to Wilfred making the Snowpiercer turn cold. But of course Josie is also a frostbite victim and will get fixed up, except she was a Jane Doe. But it's evident to everyone that, well, she will be a risk of torture by Wilfred. We did see her go, but there are gruesome experiments going on, and I wonder if Icy Bob will get his Icy Barbara. She wants to head there to get info for the Snowpiercer, but it looks like it will be darkest before the dawn for her, but she did ask the tail to stand behind Leighton. So she is a very big risk of being in trouble there. But Wilfred is then asked what he wants, as we learn that, well, he wants simply a night out. He wants to get with Audrey, but he does get invited there to a party nonetheless, and he does go there with Alex and a few people selected at random-ish. Not only is Mel his plaything, but it seems so is Audrey, his paramour, as Alex calls her, which he later snaps at. Paramour is a love, or more specifically, the illicit lover of a married person, and I think there is a lot of backstory here with her and Melanie going on, more than meets the eye. However, he says that she is the key to the train, as she would most likely have the ear of almost everyone on there, because, well, the illicit nature of the night car would lead to a bit of pillow talk, which makes sense as to why he wants to reconnect with her, but it's clear their relationship, if you can call it that, had a huge impact on her. And of course, well, he does want to control her as well, so that's another reason why he would want to meet her again after 7 years. We learn that Mel has been gone for 3 days and the weather balloons seem to be actually working, and she will hopefully be making contact later that night at the party as the systems are getting up and running. We'll then see the night and day difference between the two trains, with long lines for the subpar food as Wilfred runs the lottery to allow people to accompany him to the night car, but good old Alex has ensured it so that her Aussie friend gets on the train. Wilfred promised them the 1001 cars to stretch their legs, and well, he is sort of delivering here, but I think that obviously he doesn't want to do this just to help people out. He just wants control of the train. That's really all he cares about. Snowpiercer gets the names of the people and decides to try and look into them later, which had a nugget of a theory for me there, which I will discuss in a bit. As Bessie talks to the T-car priest, and we learn she has survivor's guilt. I can't help but think her character has been far too bogged down this season with the weight of last season and what happened, but I liked her later in the episode when she kind of adjusted and come to terms with what happened, and I hope we see more of this episode's Bessie because she's a real badass. Now, one weird thing this episode was how Zara joined hospitality, and I feel her and Leighton's stories are pretty jumbled so far, as in that their kind of connection and, well, intertwinedness is really letting the show down and letting both characters down. And her addition to hospitality does just seem like she's out for self-preservation, which of course she is, of what she did to Josie there. And I don't mind considering her situation, but I've never been too much of a fan of her character, and I really felt that Leighton needed just one single love interest. But we see Pike again, who has a renewed vigour against the Lord of the Janitors, as he was mugged off by them last week, but now has a mandate to smuggle all the weed he wants, and hints that the Janitors no longer have the hold over the black market due to the border between trains. But Pike is up to something much more, I suspect, because he's getting all the info, and well, Pike always has a backup plan here, doesn't he? So it might be just for him just to simply neuter the janitors, but I expect there's more than meets the eye with him as well. Now, tensions with the Tail and the Wilfred loyalists come to a head as Boki is attacked by lights and the Tail for what they did, except he says it wasn't me, but there are far more loyalists than they think on the train, hinting at one hell of a war at the end of this season that will make the first one look like a playground spat. I expect that while Wilfred can't take the train directly from Leighton, I think that he will learn that he can really rip up and get the loyalists going to fight against Leighton and the others. But we learn he worked for Wilfred at the age of 14, building bridges, indicating he's a Wilfred loyalist like many others. However, Betty thinks there's far more than the breachman, and I expect a large betrayal coming. Now, Ruth is obviously loyal to the train. She's quite clearly loyal to the train surviving. And my prediction is that it could be Roach, as he's outside of hospitality and knows everyone on the train and would have contact with other loyalists with ease, and is probably salty about what happened so far on the train. So I expect a good twist coming at some point. But Josie finally gets to see Miles again, as to be honest, I really forgot that he actually existed. And we learn he's working on life systems, as he's eager to help secure life outside the train as she prepares to head to the Big Alice. It's clear that all this posturing for the good of Big Alice by Wilfred is for his own selfish gain, as he reminds the lucky winners that this is his night to catch up with old acquaintances, pretty much saying, "Don't you dare outshine me," as he heads to the night car to make his appearance. And I love the little things that Sean Bean does, such as just Wilfred laughing at Ben when he was on the TV talking about the balloon that is needed to contact Melanie and launching it, which is funny as he just belittles people because he's just an absolute awful person. Melanie needs to ping back and indicate she's safe, which she does much later due Wilfred's anger, and it's still over 3 weeks until she will be picked up there. Wilfred finally sees Audrey again, as he's excited at the prospect of the night car, except she explains how it's no longer a brothel but a therapy release for PTSD. He exposes himself as fragile, and we learn that he actually cut her in the bath in the past, something he did do to Kevin, and seems to be his modus operandi, which is pretty damn dark. So it's going to be curious to see where that goes. She can see how fragile he is, as she says that, well, she has him where she wants him, which I think is optimistic. However, I was not a fan of this scene, as to be honest, it just seemed like a bit of a nonsense scene. I never liked the therapy scenes in the first season either. I just felt a bit woo-woo and a bit naff, to be honest, to use lack of actual proper English. All the while, Alex's Aussie mate is given a way to contact the Snowpiercer using some coins, and Alex seemingly makes friends with LJ, who is keen to get back on the top of society once more. Two storylines which I think will have an interesting culmination, and they are incredibly at odds with each other. Her mate is obviously one of the normal people, the downtrodden people, while Alex is uplifted by her association with Wilfred and her mother. So I think that those two are going to have some loggerheads very soon. But the uplink works in the end, and it seems Wilfred's plan just hasn't worked. But as I said, it was pretty much filler, but the story is progressing into exciting and interesting territories, and I'm excited to see where this all goes with LJ, Alex's mate, and Josie, as Josie has someone heading towards her at the end of this episode. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. Please do drop a like. Please do subscribe with notifications on if you want more from us. We've got more WandaVision theories coming out tomorrow, a Saint Maud video on Thursday, and a WandaVision episode breakdown on Friday. So please do stay safe, and please do let your loved ones know you love them, because we need more positivity in this world. So I'll see you soon, and goodbye.